Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, I'll be doing, I guess, sort of a quick-ish AFL team preview for round 5, as my past videos have sort of gone through, unintentionally, more so than I wanted to, go through my team and how it lines up and why I've done trades, etc. So it probably will be a little bit quicker, but we'll see how long this runs. So before we get into it, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload. And yeah, let's get into the video. So as you can see here, if I make this screen a little bit bigger, there we go. I've got Nick Dacos at D1 because of Docherty injury, and then Will Day sitting at D2. Well, I can actually swap that to Tom Stewart sitting at D2. He's coming into the defense for Docherty effectively, as I needed cover. And this team is made on the presumption that Day gets at least downgraded to 1 game, because I don't think he gets 2. I think he gets 1 game at like worst for fantasy owners. So I think he gets 1 game, and I think that's why you will see. What's his owned? He's gone down at least another % since I made that video about him and Docherty. I wonder what Docherty's percentage is now. Probably like 20. No, 16. He's dropped, obviously, dramatically because of that injury. So, yeah, these are my back 3 that I am happy with really at the moment. These 3 might stick in my team the whole time. I know Dacos most likely will, through tags, stick through my team. Stewart is probably going to pick up form again and stick in my team. And then Day at the moment is just cash grabbing up to hopefully 800, 850k. And then I can get in another defender and just honestly sit him on the midfield bench at, like, if I can get Warple, now thinking about it, with him going to get to midfield status, if I can get Warple up to another defender in the coming weeks, like if I look at defenders, swap this to defenders here, and I'm looking at Daniel Rioli potentially, Baker maybe not, Weller I could get Warple to, or someone else is going to come out of the woodworks in the next couple of weeks, or Warple's just going to get up to 600k. We're going to have some fattening of the rookies, and that'll be able to get me up to like the 800k needed for some of these guys, especially with a little bit remaining in the bank for after I go the Brodie Grundy to English trade, etc. So that'll be really good, and that'll get me up to the likes of a really good defense, and also fatten out my midfield, getting another, I guess, mid-pricer into a premium type scenario. And yeah, that'll be really good. And I just hope we get the rookies we really need to get cash cows, I guess, again, as these guys start to fatten out, or these guys get a really good game like a 90 or 100, and that really allows them growth for another 2 or 3 weeks after that. So that's really good. Duggan somehow lives on in my team. He's dropped 51k since the start, and that was just a failed pick, to be honest with you, and has lost me a lot. I wish I'd started with Day, but now I got Day in, so there is a chance now with Duggan being the almost leader of that backline that he does improve, and he does drop like 80s, 90s, 100s, and that really helps his price. And then you got Jinby here off the back of 48 last round, and hopefully he just goes and scores like an 80. Hopefully he doesn't have to tag that hard against Geelong. I don't think he will. And hopefully he just has a little bit less strenuous game, so he doesn't have to get rested. That would be nice, as there has been calls for him to get, I guess, been rested, but I think he will play. If he doesn't play and Day gets a suspension, well, then that's really going to throw things up, and I probably have to switch Day out for McGrath or something like that, if Day, or something like that, to fix that, as I don't really want a donut. Wilmot here sitting at D6. He's sort of necessary to play, and if Cowan scores really well, then Ulan just comes in and Wilmot doesn't get the doesn't have to be scored his score. Then you got but if, I guess, we'll see, but if you see, I might have a way to move Jinby into the midfield, etc., and to play both Wilmot and and Cowan. If Cowan scores well, Hollands doesn't score well, and I don't like the likes of Long or Davey on field, and maybe that's the case, but I doubt it will be. So that's an option. I do like the flexibility that I have. At M1, I still have Petrarca. He did well last week. I hope he does well this week. Bont, M2, he picked it up last week. Hopefully he goes again and scores 100 again. M3 is Sarong. New pickup, a vice captaincy option in his first game. Playing the Friday afternoon game. He's playing at Norwood Oval, which is a smaller ground, which should mean increased ruck contests, and he is playing in the wet, which should mean he will be really good for fantasy, not the best for Supercoach, obviously, because they work on efficiencies. I am expecting 6, 7, 8 tackles, 2 or 3 marks, and probably 25-30 disposal game, as I don't think he really gets tagged. But he could, but I don't think he will. Then you have Tom Green here just doing his thing, getting 30, 35 disposals a game pretty much, and just pumping out 100 scores. Warple here, I think if Day does get suspended, gets an uptick and will get an 80 or 90, and that'll really help him. Ashcroft doing his thing. Cam McKenzie, I think, also gets an upkeep if Day's out for a round, helping his cash gen again. Then you got Ollie Holland or Davey. If Holland has a shocker, Davey probably will come in. But as I spoke about before, I could move Jimby down, etc. and move the needle around a little bit. Then in the ruck, I've got Rowan Marshall. He's almost a captaincy option. I just don't really am 100% sure. If we look here back at, where are they? Where is the Collingwood game against Brisbane? He came up against Oscar McInerney in the ruck. Was rucking last game, 95. If we look at McInerney, averages 81. So it was a huge game for him. So Marshall probably will go and score a 120, 130. But I don't know. And it is an option that I go with the captaincy over him. With him over Dacos, and that'll be a choice. It just depends on who is going to line up for Collingwood in the ruck. And then you got Brodie Grundy here, who's a guy that I'm just hoping Phil is in. And if I go again, I shouldn't have got rid of this. AFL break evens, and we look at Grundy, 83 break even. So I'm hoping he goes 110, 115 again, and can get English by 20 or so K. If I actually bring it back up and go to English. English is a 91 break even, so he's going to go huge. Oh no. I'm trying to make up that gap, but it keeps on ballooning out. The gap's at 136k. That's going to be tough to make up, actually, now looking at it. So I'm hoping that English has a 100 game or something like that. Barely goes up and Grundy goes up, and I can just grab English sometime soon. Samson Ryan should gain a lot of value off the bench. Then you got Dunkley at F1. He's actually F2 now, thinking about it. He's slowly sliding down the ranks. He just doesn't look like himself, honestly. Still averaging 93, but hopefully he picks it up. Gordon, talk about Taranto. Taranto's doing his thing, averaging 114. I'm good. I'm happy that I went back on the decision to get Cornelio and went to Taranto, as that was a bad call in preseason already. And, Cogs is sitting, if we go here, he's now sitting, averaging 93. So he's averaging 20 less than Taranto. So that was a bad call in preseason to say Cogs would average more. Then you've got Gordon here averaging 93. That's good. And Sheasel slowly making his way up the ranks. He could even overtake Gordon into F3, but he will slide into potentially D2 next week. Him, Dacos, Stewart, Day, and then some other, and then Duggan out for a forward, I guess, or something. We'll see. Or Duggan, we'll see. I'm happy to almost play one of the two, Cowan or Wilmot, in defense each week as the time goes on until I can fix up that spot, which will mean getting some cash out of here and moving it on to up here, or just getting Fairhey in and playing him instead. And then you got Rosie doing all right, averaging 89. He copped a tag, so I think he'll go back up again into the averaging into the 90s. Chandler averaging 74. He's still rising in price, which is good. Then you have Philippou here, Minty gaining value, and Noah Long gaining value. So my team's doing really well. The cash cows are gaining value. I missed out on Van Rooyen, which kind of sucks, but he didn't do too much damage, I don't think. Only 43k, so it wasn't the end of the world with that. 43k off of 48 isn't bad either way, so I thought it sort of made evens without, and hopefully this week I can gain a lot of ranking points up going with Sarong, and yeah, I guess hopefully a lot of people cop a 0 because they had Doherty, Day, and other people. Like, I do have Doherty, Day, Jimby, and Wilmot, who are potentially all out, but I think Wilmot and Jimby both play, as I don't really see Rich impacting Wilmot's position, and Doherty's obviously out, and I think Day gets downgraded, and I can cop a Cowan score, I guess, but if I might have to cop Cowan score either way, but that's the way it is. But yeah, we'll see. And there probably might be more changes, but my trades at the moment are Stewart in for Doherty and Sarong in for McGrath. So yeah, that's my trades at the moment, and I'll see you guys in another video sometime soon. I guess it will be my recap of the Thursday night game between Adelaide and Carlton tomorrow. So see you guys in another video. Thanks guys. Goodbye.